Okay.
Yes, I can.
Well, hello to you. Rosales. Hello, hi.
Oh yeah!
Ooh, yeah. Okay, I can't hear Rosales. Can you?
No, I can't.
Can't hear you. Do, 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 do. Can't hear that.
Brought to you by DMRHosting.com. Unlimited data storage, unlimited data transfer, antivirus, and spam protection, along with 24/7 365 support via chat or phone. Get started today with a 30-day free trial at DMRHosting.com.
Nope.
No.
We just can't have nice things. So. It's weird.
Yep.
It's very unlike. I don't know. I don't know what happens if you leave the studio and come back. I'm not sure.
What about now?
Yeah.
Yay!
There we go. I know what was going on. Yeah, okay. Well, good morning, everybody.
Oh
Glad,
yeah.
glad to see you. I'm glad for you to hear me. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah. Good to
Yeah,
see you.
I had the wrong microphone hooked up. I hadn't set up the all the fun things, so it was looking for an application that wasn't yet available.
Oh.
So none of the fun sound effects were coming through, and neither was I because it was looking in the wrong place.
Got it.
None of the sound, the fun ones. Dang
Good,
flabbit.
good morning, Nico. Glad to have you on board. How was your weekend, Warren?
It was good. I slept a lot.
Awesome.
That's really
Awesome.
all I did.
And that's why you
That's
didn't
good.
grace us with your camera this morning?
Yes.
And how's your day been? How was the live stream, Kitty?
It was very good. It was a lot of fun. I had to. I was gonna say I had to cut it short. But yeah, we didn't finish. We just had to. I had to finish it before prematurely because I had. Guess what? I had a migraine. So,
Oh no.
but we went for about 7 hours. But it was good.
And that was
Pity you
you
were.
were
Yeah.
you were watching the Wheel of Time
Oh yes,
together.
today.
Yeah.
Yes, that earlier today, me and Nico and Andrew came around a little bit. Jab was there. There were only a few of us. But yeah, we watched. It was a lot of fun. Nico's having a good time. What do you think, Nico?
And for those who don't know, one of the things that Kitty does is she diagrams people arguing on the interwebs, and it's lots of fun. People come on and they put in their 2 cents. Sometimes she gathers everybody together and
Yeah,
adds
we're
them
starting that.
into a stream, and everybody gets to talk all over each other, and it's a good time to hear
It
people
is.
arguing about arguing. So,
Yes, let's argue about the tiny little things.
and good morning, brand new
Chill.
streamer, 1776. She had her first show a week or so ago.
70.
Man.
She had on everybody's first guest, MSK.
Well, yeah, I was just saying, I miss MSK. Where is he?
Well, I think his vacation ends. What was it, Monday? He can stream again.
Yes, yes. The I called it the final week for MSK.
Yeah, the
Oh, Nico did
final.
have a good time.
Yeah,
Back
we
to
had a
back
good
live
weekend.
streams. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
good.
Michael. We
And
also
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
no, Nico was like, oh, because I was like, I need to go and have a nap quick, and he's like, no Rosales. So I'm like, you can have a nap first, then come back to Rosales. Don't worry. So Nico remembered as well.
Oh, that's so nice. And
Mm-hmm.
Warren. No, we talked to Warren. Where's Oh yeah, there's Cole. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Hi.
Awesome. Glad to have you here. Oh, yeah, we saw that. Yeah, we saw you had a good time. I'm glad you had a good time. And Chillmonger. Glad to see you, sir. How are you?
Doing good.
Doing good. Any major news to talk about?
There's a non-story that I'm really irked about, which I feel like should I even mention it right now by giving it attention? There's people saying because he's not going to be part of the promotion of Quantumania on Disney Plus, that's because they're preparing to get rid of him. That's evidence of a recast. If you read the description of the synopsis for the movie, it doesn't say anything about Kang. Well, how could they do it without mentioning the villain? And like, if you read other descriptions on Marvel movies, they don't mention their villain either. It's a non-issue. It's a non-story. I'm sorry. Anyone who was like is grasping.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to cut you off like that. That
I
was an
was.
accident. That was an accident. I am always doing you so wrong.
I got canceled.
Accidentally. No, but the point is that he really wasn't part of the overall promotion to begin with. I mean, you knew it was him. You knew Quantumania, and you knew he was going to be the bad guy. But when it came to all of the advertising and the TV spots, you saw more Scott Lang in a Dunkin' Donuts uniform or a Baskin Robbins, whatever that was, than you did Kang. So it's not unreasonable for them to focus on the positive and not the negative.
Sure.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything until it's. We don't know anything. It's just speculation.
But I understand the problems that they have at Disney when it comes to that sort of thing. I had made a short film with another guy, and we cobbled together this entire crew, and I let him direct it. I produced it and wrote it. We wrote it together, and then we started filming, and we got everything shot. And right before we were going to debut the film, one of the characters, one of the actors, was arrested and put in jail for bad things, and his actions would have featuring him in the film the way that we did. It kind of put us in a hard spot. Do we edit him out? Do we leave him in? Do we go on as it was? And that in itself was in a long list of things that were telling me not to make the web series that I was trying to make at the time. So, it's hard, especially, because one of the things that Disney's good at, and I think we've seen that, is going back and editing. So if we find out that Jonathan Majors is going to have a bad time in court, later in the year, we may see an edited version of Quantumania with about, 4 to 5 minutes less of Jonathan Majors.
The special edition version.
Yes, yes. But if not, it's just good to play it safe and not say anything at all, which is the right thing to do. Don't say anything at all until you know something, exclusively.
Yep.
So that's the major.
And he's dating Megan Good.
Well, good for him.
Dating her good, is he?
Oh, if only I had my rim shot right now. You missed the excitement, Warren. I did not have my audio queued up the way I was supposed to, so I don't have my sound effects.
I could hear a little bit of hissing, and I don't know whose microphone that's coming from.
Is it mine? Let's see. If you mute me, what happens?
Is it gone now?
I still hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
It was muted, but when Rosales went mute.
Ah,
Is it back now?
Yeah.
it's not me for once. It's insane.
Oh, good. It's me. All right. Let's see.
Hi, Cole.
Kick Rosales. Kick Rosales.
Say something, Cole.
Yes.
No, there is no majors news. Just remember that he's going to court on Tuesday, and he's gonna have that motion that he filed. They're gonna have to respond to it, and whatever the district attorney's office can muster, then Jonathan Majors has got to respond to it on May 31, and we'll find out on June 13th if this goes to trial or if the judge says, "Wow, there is no credibility. We're not taking this and wasting taxpayer dollars on this."
We hope that happens. But
You're
no.
muted.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, Rosales. Oh, okay. I'm just usually the guy that's like
No.
doing the things.
What about now?
Yes, the history is still there.
The hissing is still there?
But it's better than not hearing you at all.
Nah, I think that hissing is better than not hearing him at all.
Miss 1776, have you changed your opinion on Jonathan Majors at all?
Nope, still the same. Yeah,
Which
benefit of the
is-
doubt. Benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
Okay. Warren, how about yourself? Awesome.
I was muted. I'm gonna wait. The evidence speaks for itself. That's the kind of person I am. So I'll wait and see what happens.
Fantastic. All right. Well, there's a lot of interesting things happening right now when it comes to projects being canceled or shelved or things of that nature going on in the industry right now. For example, Disney's going to shut down their Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel after 18 months. And Disney has shelved an Alien vs. Predator anime that was supposedly completed. They are not releasing it. They are hiding it for tax purposes. And Disney's not the only one. DCW is moving away from superhero shows, and they are officially canceling the Powerpuff Girls.
Thank God.
So, what we have here...
We're okay with that.
Streaming channels that are shelving projects that are completely made and following the David Zaslav model of streamlining the streaming services. Stuff is coming off. Whole projects are coming in whole and fast. Disney seems to be doing a model of a little bit of both, of Netflix and Max, because they will be dropping Echo as an experiment. All of the episodes in one shot as opposed to week by week. So, there's things that are going on there, and, Warner shouldn't be the only one who catches flack if you're going to complain about things being shelved for tax purposes, because I think I might have wanted to see the Alien vs. Predator anime.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Sure. Let's start with Chill.
Okay. Hey, you should mute yourself while I talk just because of the hissing thing. I didn't mean that as a diss. I mean, it's better for the listeners. I think that Disney Plus is a failed, as it's going now. If it was to continue, it's a failure. I think they realized the worth of their Disney Plus shows a few months ago when Bob Iger took over and Chapek left. But these things take a long time in development, so they've got this Echo thing, and they're like, "What? We know it's not going to push merch. It's not Mandalorian. It's not this thing that people are interested in. It was created at a time when we were saying, a certain amount of content needs to be made, and we're not going to question Marvel of how they come. Because if Marvel really cared and was thinking properly, we'd have season 1s with season 2s and season 3s and season 4s. Instead, they're just like Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Echo. I mean, Disney is trying something new. The 6-week thing may be may be better. It will be better because it's a nothing show. It's Echo, but at least no one's going to be offended if we get them all at once. I'm sure they shot it episodically with the intention that 7 days will pass, people will be wondering about the mystery of this, and then they'll get the answer next week, and that's going to hurt the suspense of it. But these have been inconsequential. So the Echo experiment, I'm happy they're experimenting because I'm always for people realizing something's wrong and trying to make a better.
Okay.
And Kitty, what do you think about this?
I don't know if it's going to help. I don't know if it's too little, too late. I mean, I suppose they're trying stuff. Good for them. But I don't know at this point. How is that going to help them completely? Like, how are they going to recover costs? They just, I don't know. Streaming has not worked. It's been a failure for them. So, I do think the weekly release thing is good for streaming actually. But when your shows are crap, your shows are crap.
When it's
You're not
6
go-
weeks.
It's 6 weeks of shit.
Yeah.
So I get, if you're not going to get the whole idea, remember we spoke about this, like you have to try and get, you need to get subscribers. Is that going to be bringing in subscribers?
No, Echo will not, especially after her showing in Hawkeye. People are going to say, oh, that's a character. That character's getting a show? She didn't have no superpowers. She was the one that was deaf. That's weird.
Like, is that going to bring you, so I don't know how that changes anything. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it gives them data that helps them make some other decision.
Yeah.
But I don't see how it does anything for them. And yeah, I didn't hear anything good about Echo in any case.
I think they were trying to do so far. They've had black representation with Black Panther, Asian representation with Shang-Chi, and now we get some Latino representation with Echo. So maybe they were trying to go that angle, but I don't know. Her I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'm being shallow, but her face just doesn't. It scares me. So that's why I don't want to watch that show. It looks like, you ever seen like a crow get hit by a car? Like, that's kind of what I.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being really mean, but she looked like the kid, the little girl that played her, like before she saw Kingpin. That was a cute little girl. How do you go from a cute little girl to that thing? It's just, it just really boggled my mind.
One hell of a drug. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry. I mean, I'm trying to be nice.
Miss
You're always
1776.
getting calls in the way. Clear it.
I don't know. I think there is a way that you can make money on streaming. Like,
What is the audio today?
it's not mine, is it? Because mine was having issues last night, and I tried unplugging it, plugging it. Is it mine?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's like far away than close by.
Yeah, you sound like you're in a tunnel.
I also want a cool background.
How the hell do we have viewers right now?
They enjoy the excitement. Will it work?
Is
Will
this
it
any
not?
better?
There's still a
There's
hiss.
still a hiss.
There's still a
Okay.
hiss.
What about mine? Is mine like?
You're back. We can
okay.
hear you.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right, deal with the hiss for a minute. I'm going to have to listen to it myself
Deal
and
with
try to figure it out. Hang on a moment.
We're in the snake pit over here.
I'm just picking backgrounds, Kitty, because this is supposed to be released this year, the Craven movie.
You see. That looks pretty cool. But I'm looking for, I got this Monster Hunter Rise background that I saved to my phone. And I don't remember what else I did with it. I might as well just go and get it from here. It's starting to rise. As background. But now with these things, okay, so if we're just going to be talking about things that are getting dumped without release, that kills me, man. Even if things are crap, I don't like knowing that they exist and we're never going to see them.
I
Yeah, but
mean,
if they're tax write-offs, then I mean, if it's a tax write-off and they have to do it for a tax write-off, it makes
yeah,
sense.
it makes sense. And like, for instance, when they did the whole, like, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I am not a Barbara Gordon Batgirl fan. I'm sorry, like, it to me, it was disrespectful that they did a Batgirl movie over a Nightwing movie. How you do the partner that comes, I don't know, three something later, like a few while later, over Tim and Dick. That doesn't make any sense. And then, like, you know, um, they race swapped, whatever. Fine, okay, cool. I guess that's a thing still. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. I'm not for it. So
So you're not for Barbara, but you're all for Dick.
yeah. Oh, no,
Right?
no. I mean, make sure I listen to that sentence. No, thank you.
Yeah, like what? Say what now? Say it back.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Hold on. Whoop, all right. I feel like I've cursed this stream with mine.
Cole, has your are you having audio issues too?
No. Yeah, I was lagging out there the first like 5 times, so my bad.
Hey, welcome to the stream.
Yep.
What is your thoughts on killing projects for tax purposes, Cole?
I mean, since they were bankrupt by tons of millions, I understand they had to try to find a way out. I just hate it how they're just killing and locking away artists' work though
Stuffs.
that was
Yes.
completed. And yeah, I don't know if you brought it up, but yeah, 1 or 2 of them was already leaked online, and yeah, you can go watch it. They were 100% completed films, and they're actually well received. So they're killing off good 100% completed films, and people have rumored, like insiders, quote unquote, that there's like close to 100 of them that they just killed off.
How do we know though that they were not just, were they well received, or was it like, oh, it was leaked and that's exciting and the people that did see it liked it?
Well, I'm sure that's part of it, but
Like
still.
it was leaked and it's free, so I mean.
Yeah. So it's like.
There's also the excitement of the taboo, where you're watching something that nobody else has a chance to see except for you and your degenerate pirate friends, and people get excited all about.
I don't have
about
degenerate
that.
friends.
I'm not a degenerate. I'm just
Yeah,
saving
I don't
money.
know. He's just thrifty.
I'm just saving money. I'm an economist. So.
Yeah, I'm not supporting Kevin Feige. Come on now.
The man took on $53 billion worth of debt. I mean, debt, and within 9 months has turned it into $9 billion plus cash in hand. So,
Pretty good.
That's a pretty good model to go by, and I think that's why Disney and some of the others like CW, which is also now taking that particular part of it seriously, business-wise, and are doing their best to recoup and stop the hemorrhaging. You look at the way they were run when AT&T was taking them over. AT&T was thinking, "Hey, synergy, let's everything go, feed itself, and then we will also own the content that people want as we charge them to get on the internet We're the provider.
Uh-huh.
We're also the service, and we're going to be these things, the channels that people go to as well. And then we can squeeze everybody else out and lower their bandwidth while we decrease our own. And they had all these schemes in mind for monopoly's sake, because businesses do that. Meanwhile, WB, who was changing all kinds of management as well, decided, hey, we've got all of these ideas on how things should be done, and people should be told how to live, and stories that need to be told and represented in a certain way, and we got blank checks. So we're going to do all this and greenlight all these projects to the point where they were not fiscally responsible at all, to the point where they had Henry Cavill do something without a contract, and they
Yeah.
greenlit projects while they were on their way out that they knew were not going to do it, because they were going to harm the company's reputation on the way out. And so it's you take that into account. And somebody remind me where I was going.
I don't know, but I liked it.
Yeah, I was enjoying
you
it.
said-
I'm like, you're telling us why this is happening, and
Yeah, you said they took Henry Cavill out because it was going to do something on his way out.
Well, the corporate heads negotiated with him because they were siding with Black Adam and The Rock and all that stuff, and they got him to come back in, suggesting that he was going to get to be Superman again.
Yes.
And so him loving the character and loving the idea, went on ahead and did something without having a contract renegotiated, which is something you just don't do, because then you get burned like this. And then they greenlit some projects that when Zaslav took over, he knew he had to cut, and they knew he was going to cut them. And so he looked like this bad guy that didn't like content at all. Well, no, he wants the business to be alive. He wants the business to thrive. He wants the business to go on so that they can create really good stuff.
And the prior guys wouldn't do what he did, because that would be admitting that they're wrong. And there's not an emotional attachment that Zaslav has.
No. And now you see Disney pulling things from the archive. A lot of stuff is just disappearing off of their own servers and are just going to be gone. Like the entire Willow series that was canceled, and now it's leaving.
oh my god, it's not even there anymore?
Nope.
It's hardly even
canceled-
been there.
They canceled the treasure hunter thing, whatever that show was, National Treasure.
That's not
You know,
familiar.
and if you're thinking, wait, that was out? Yes, it was. National
didn't-
Treasure is gone.
Like Nicolas Cage, National Treasure?
They
Was
rebooted
that
it
what
with
it
a
was?
female.
All right.
It was garbage. Don't worry.
But explain to me, how do they make money or save money now because it's not on Disney Plus? I thought everything was done here. Boom, it's on our streaming service. We only benefit from this. How does pulling it save you money?
Well,
Yeah.
because you don't have to pay residuals to writers and actors and producers if
'Cause
it's
they're
not
just not worth it.
available. If it's not in streaming and it's not in syndication, you don't have to pay anybody to do that. Also, the server space is not free. Everybody here who runs something online, you have to pay to host your things.
So they're saying, Willow, you're not even worth our server bandwidth. Wow.
That's right. So
that you're saving us more money than you're making. Nobody is subscribing for Willow.
Everyone
They're not gonna
who does
log in there.
No, the people who do subscribe for Willow, they've seen it already.
Yeah, they're
Nope.
out.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're not worth the waste of money now.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, does anybody here care about Willow or Treasure Hunter?
I thought
Okay,
it was hilarious to hate watch
Um,
Willow. I didn't watch it,
I didn't watch it.
but I watched the reviews and I loved it. I loved it from that point of view.
Price.
I was just asking what idea they had. They had no idea for it.
Oh.
Oh yeah, the idea for Willow was deadbeat dad,
hmm
hero sister who isn't appreciated for the strength that she has,
Horrid woman.
aloof brother that was supposed to be the next in line but probably shouldn't be,
Yeah, because he's
Yes.
just stupid and a womanizer.
Yeah, womanizer.
So it's
You're taking this chick too far, Warren.
No, no, she said womanizers. I was like, womanizer, you know the
You get
song,
you.
womanizer.
Womanizer.
Oh,
What,
like
that
the
one?
song. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's
Miss 1776. Did you see any of these projects that were?
These write-offs.
Oh, I make it a habit not to watch anything that's crap. So no, I didn't see it.
Lame. Don't hate. Hate watching can be fun.
I'm gonna hate watch something. It's gonna be a Lifetime movie while I'm drunk. That's about my extent to hate watching.
Yeah, Lifetime movies.
They're so horrible.
They Lifetime movies are like about the crimes that you actually watch documentaries about, and then you're like, oh, let me see the Lifetime movie about it. Oh, that's my experience of Lifetime movies.
Well, like, you ever watch, like, some of them, they're like those crime things, but yet, like, they always have, like, the person do something really stupid, and then, like, you could tell they didn't think the whole script through. So just, like, I don't know. That I will hate watch. I will love.
Because it does, you don't expect more from it. You're just like, here it is. It's not trying
It's
to be.
supposed to be trash TV.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure. The thing that with digital platforms is the pirated shows are good quality because it's not a cam copy. I wouldn't know.
Well,
About
they used to be cam
that.
copies.
I
That's how
don't
you would
remember
get
that.
the old back in the old days.
Yeah, the people walk past their hair.
Yeah, but now you've got these 4K cameras on your cell phones, and
Yeah, but still, it's like
I
you
say
get
you
the
people
wobbly
because I'm
cam.
on Android. So,
Yes,
but yeah,
Android.
there's a lot of people that are just leaking these things out that are part of the system themselves, and that's a shame because they're cutting into their own budget as well. So, any final thoughts, Cole? You got any final thoughts?
No, just same as always. Like, I get it on a business perspective. I mean, I don't really care about the business side. I just care about, art. And yeah, it sucks that they just are going to shelve a bunch of work like that, and it's going to be lost media. I'm big into salvage and lost media, so I don't really like that. Hopefully more stuff gets leaked online, though.
But doesn't that give you something to look forward to dig up later on in life? It kind of gives you purpose in life?
Yeah.
Maybe, but, some of it will probably be missing forever, and that will suck.
Which Marvel show will be the first to go missing forever? Because WandaVision was the first on, but I don't see them getting rid of it because it was relevant to Doctor Strange. Falcon Winter Soldier, that's not going away, especially with Sam Wilson having a movie.
Oh, She-Hulk. Easy.
She-Hulk?
No,
Bye.
in season 2.
But it's the most, that's the soonest.
Bless you.
It's
Thank
just
you.
happened. They're not getting rid of something so recent.
I think they'll get rid of Loki after they do season 2.
You are on coke. This is why Cole. I don't know.
Loki? Nah.
No.
How?
Kang is really important to the MCU.
Yeah,
The show?
I still, he only had like a cameo, is pretty much. Like, come on.
Like I said, She-Hulk would be the first to go.
Kang is a cameo in Loki. I don't think that he is.
I don't think
Well,
it's not as cameo, but it's
No, not cameo, but I'm just saying it didn't have like a big part in it.
he's in a finale. He's the big boss.
Yeah, yes, but still, it's someone that you could just like. It's not that important because I mean he shows up in Quantumania, which is the biggest thing. Like,
Okay.
I can't
Alright.
wait to see Loki pull out the ants.
Yeah.
Is that going to come together? I still haven't seen the Quantum Mania.
It could be his one and only weakness. So
Listen,
that would be awesome.
I rewatched that. It's not that I don't know why people are like. He fights a guy named Ant-Man. Why would anybody be surprised you don't see ants? Like,
Yeah.
like I don't get it.
You just didn't think it would be like some sort of Aquaman thing where he calls upon the ants and they come and help. kind of thing. Commie ants.
Hawkeye can go, but you need Hawkeye for Echo. So wait for Hawkeye and Echo. They can go together. Echo and Hawkeye will both no longer exist.
I'd rather keep Hawkeye over She-Hulk. I'm sorry.
They made a mistake not just making that a film.
Okay.
They made a mistake making it relevant to the storyline at the time. Otherwise, they could have had themselves a classic every holiday, year after year after year. The Hawkeye movie.
Yeah.
For the Christmas season and holidays, they weren't thinking things completely through. And Marvel has a habit of doing that. They don't think things completely through.
Hawkeye could have been the Christmas Avenger. What?
The Christmas Avenger.
Oh, see, now there's a marketing opportunity you missed right there. Nico says, regardless of what Loki does to the MCU storyline, I've heard some normies say they liked Loki.
Yeah, but normies aren't we're not subscribing to Disney for it.
And they're only watching the pirated episodes. So.
Yeah, I mean, is Agents
not
of
this normie.
Shield still on there?
Yes.
They might be. They might start pulling those two from Hulu because they're pulling stuff from Hulu as well. Disney's going through the whole house and combing out the lice. So,
There's a reason for the Hulu thing, but all I would say is pay attention to 2024. That's all.
That's a long time to go.
All right, we're talking after the show. We're talking.
Yeah.
But since let's go ahead and talk about this. I have 2 ripping yarns available from Rosales Comics, available at globalcomics.com. We have Rainbow Falls. The Grim Tales of Rainbow Falls is a 12-part anthology series featuring science fiction and horror. Issue number 1 is available now on globalcomics.com, and My Frankenstein, all 4 issues available right now at globalcomics.com. So check it out now.
They cancelled my order, Rosales. Of your book,
They canceled?
of the Grim, the Grim Tales. So,
what I'll do
I
is
guess I'm going to the website to see what happens there.
I'll get you I'll get you a digital copy. How's that?
I'll get the digital copy. Don't worry, I'll be getting that. It's fine. That's what I decided. I'll probably just end up getting the digital. It's very disappointing though, because the came that had the estimated dates, and I'm like, cool, and it's like hasn't shipped, and then yesterday I got the cancellation message.
Why did they cancel it?
They're just like, sorry. They're not going to tell me. They're just like, oh well, here's your money back.
There's no trees in the desert, so it's hard to get paper.
They just didn't want me.
True.
So I will. I'll just get the digital. It's okay.
Okay. Since we are talking about comics, though, we should probably talk about the death of Miss Marvel.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, where's my cues? My audio cues. I've got all this haze. I've got no audio cues. Chill. What can you tell us about the death of Miss Marvel?
That comic book characters have been dying for years. The big ones that last are few. Uncle Ben is someone who's died and always lasted. Bucky Barnes died, and that's Captain America's friend. But he did return in like a 2006 comic story, so it lasted a long while. There's characters like Death of Superman in the 90s, and that got a lot of media attention because, Superman is dying. But if you read the story, you'll see that his heart just stopped beating really slowly. He was still alive. My point is that this Kamala Khan, fallen friend, death of Ms. Marvel, is temporary. And she has a movie coming in November, which she co-stars in. She'll probably have a comic book at the same time.
Okay.
I got more to say, but are you muted, Rosales? I can't hear you.
I am muted.
Hello.
No, we can hear you.
I've got
You're not
kids in the
muted.
background, yes. But please, go ahead.
Okay, because I thought I saw you moving your mouth, but you were talking to the kids in the background. Look, this character hasn't been very popular or moving comic books. Her comics, her ongoing comics on a monthly basis, stopped being released in February 2021. So we've gone 2 years and 2 months without this character appearing on a regular basis. You might get a limited series here for like 5 issues or like 3 one-shot comics in a row, combine them, and that makes a story. You had a little bit of her appearing there, but it was not what Daredevil gets. It's not what Doctor Strange gets. It's not what Iron Man gets, which is perennially every single month on your comic book shelves. So she was in a poor position. Doing this publicity stunt of killing the character and getting people to talk about her and raising awareness of her is to the benefit of this character. Because you and I know death isn't permanent. We know that if something just really bad happened to Kamala, but she'll be back in a few months, then nobody would know about it. But basically, she'd be gone for a few months and coming back. What's that? What's a death in comics other than gone for a few months and she'll come back?
You forgot one. Marvel is still dead.
That's a good example. Marvel is still dead. Yeah.
I think the fact that it happens mostly that it does happen every now, like it's more likely that it's temporary. It sounds like you've made a good prediction in my opinion, but I'm just an army, so I trust you.
Well, as long as she doesn't get into an accident.
I say chill is right, okay? Me. Don't worry, guys. I got your back. Don't worry, Chill. I got your back. I know you guys.
Are those ninja kitties in your background?
They are. Yeah, I guess you could call them ninja kitties. They're palicos from Monster Hunter Rise or Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter, basically. They do a big thing. No, they're cute. They do a little dance and they're giving me food. Ta-da! And I'm the center one, although if I move up.
I played that game for like 30 minutes and gave up.
Why? Come back to us.
It seems like it'll take too many hours to just get anywhere like Fallout. I'm not really into those games.
Yeah, the grind. Oh, you found your sound box, eh?
Yes, I found my soundboard. Yes.
I like it. I'm glad. Now you're gonna just use it on me, but it's fine. That's what I'm here for.
I think that this is actually to her benefit, but
wrong music.
I mean, what I find funny is I think she's better than Captain Marvel rather, and which is why I find it odd that her comics, because I know Chill keeps up to date with Kamala Khan, so I'm actually shocked because I for one do not like Carol Danvers at all ever since her inception, and that just the movie even made it worse for me. So let's hope that she's revitalized. I mean, we've seen Wolverine come back, and then Old Man, even though he was dead, Old Man Logan was around. We've seen some notable. Even Iron Man died, and he came back. Captain America, like Joe said, some notable ones, and then they came back and they kind of were on like a spree of being in almost every comic. So, yep, that's Ms. Marvel. That is correct. So yeah, I mean, I have nothing against the character. I hope she continues. They just revitalizes her. That's all. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you get props for the darkest background, as in like darkest looking. It's like trophies in the background.
Yep, Craven movie's coming out this year, so gotta.
Is there any specific reason we don't get to see your T-shirt today?
Well, I'm not sitting properly. That's why. Give me a second.
Stand.
If I stand, you'd see my cake. I don't want to do that.
Did you
So
say
this is
cake?
His cake.
This is the Winter Soldier commands. When they told him, 17, 9. Forgot the rest. Yeah, I got it a long time ago. So this is the Winter Soldier commands. That's all.
Well, that's an awesome shirt. I think probably what we've seen with these characters, a lot of the ones that are considered failed characters, are the fact that there was an execution problem in how they were rolled out. Um,
Is Chill okay?
I think, yeah, Chill, you're muted.
I didn't see. I hit the wrong mute. My bad.
Okay, it looked like you were falling all over the place. It sounded like you were falling.
Sorry.
But yeah, I
It
think
failed characters, yeah.
I think the execution and how they introduced the characters is probably at issue here. They were not received favorably to begin with, and they have they were trying to transition. Here's the problem: they have a problem when it comes to those people that they are um, delivering content to. Okay, your comic book fans are going to be traditionally males in the ideal demographic of 13 to 45. However, right now they've got the same demographics as wrestling fans, which is over 45. And so you have all of these old men reading comic books and looking at all of these young girls doing hipster things and millennial stuff and talking in jargon
And TikTok.
and doing TikTok type of things. And
There literally is a champion story about TikTok where the Roxxon Corporation invents an app for all the kids and it brainwashes them, and that came out. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are marketing to a different audience. Sadly, it's a different audience that doesn't read that particular medium of paper and ink on a periodic basis.
That's gross.
Because they get their content online. And so they're trying to bring younger customers to this old medium, and it has failed. And they did it in such a way that it ostracized the current fan base. And then they stood their ground and alienated this fan base. And because there was an overarching plan of not only just, and everybody's doing this, by the way, you make a comic book or you make a book so that it can go to Netflix and become a movie or something like that. So every project leads to a different format.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was always a plan for Kamala Khan and Kate Danvers, the new version of her, and all of these other girls, the Batgirl from the New 52 or whatever it is. Always a plan to get them on the big screen. This was always the end game. So they're not doing any corrective surgery here with the death of Kamala Khan. This is the story that's going to play out at the end of her cinematic storyline. Don't mean to bust a bubble, but it also gives them an opportunity to reboot the character as well.
So you disagree? Right? Are you disagreeing with Chill?
I never disagree with Chill. Always agree.
I could just not be hearing him properly.
Well, there is that haze and the hissing, so.
I think that though there's going to be a new audience for this character specifically. Yeah, it's not the old timers. When you hear that the first volume of the Kamala Khan story, which collects the first 5 issues, okay, so that came out in 2014. But when you hear that it's the highest selling volume and it's still a high seller, like the orders, for that number 1 issue are still high, even though that came out 2014. And what that tells me, since it's the number 1. It's the original. It's the origin. It's telling me new people are reading her. And that's not the guys who've been comic fans for years. That's new people. Like literally, I never bought a comic in my life. Oh, they got a girl who's Pakistani? Oh, let me check that out. So I think there's something in her first issue. But does that warrant having like issue 76, 77, and 78? No, because those guys who are getting the first issue are pretty satisfied with like 100 pages of a comic book, and they go, "Oh, that's cool. I did the thing. I read the comic character. I'm familiar with her, and so 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 Kamala Khan can be discontinued. The character dying it's not just for the casual whatever. I don't read comic books. This one's actually for the comic heads, the guys who never gave her a shot. It's been 10 years, everyone, and now we're putting her in a Spider-Man story. You guys all read Spider-Man, right? All you guys who are hardcore. Well, if she's in Spider-Man, doesn't that mean she's important to us? We're signaling to you this character is worth your money.
So buy the comic.
Yes, I love that.
So
I was busy looking. Yeah,
What'd
go.
you say?
No, I love that. I'm just trying to figure out a virtual audio cable so that I can also put my sound effects through. It'll be a coup.
The problem here is that many are acting offended. How dare Marvel do this? This is a person of color as opposed to a person of colorless. That's my insult on the terminology person of color. I hate it. But like people are trying to find offense in this. Like this isn't what you do. How dare you kill the character because of what she represents? I'm like, no, you got it all wrong. The character died 2 years ago when her ongoing comic stopped selling and they stopped producing it. That was character death. You might not understand the comic industry if you think this is the complete permanent removal of this character. That's not what it is. You should be, all right, use that aggression that you have for when they have her return as like an X-Men or something. Use that aggression to fund her return comic and teach Marvel that they better not cancel or you'll not get our money. You know, all right, use that energy in a productive manner. And then to anyone else who's like hating on the character of Kamala Khan, she never sold, she was useless, she's da-da-da. All right, you weren't going to pick up the comic anyway. It's not like you were going to like her. Right, Warren?
I mean, I have no issue. Kamala Khan, I'm sorry.
I mean, make her a good
Sitting in a
character.
throne.
I just like to be relaxed.
That's Ryan Otley's artwork, isn't it? From The Hunted.
Yes, correct.
You were saying something, Cole?
Oh no, it's just saying, yeah, make her a good character, then I'll care. They get to do so. Like, it's funny that they're putting her, with Spider-Man because they just tried making her that and it failed hard. Like, I mean, I do think the character has some potential. It's just, they haven't reached it yet. This whole thing is just people who don't know the comic industry at all. It's kind of dumb.
It's okay. So I think Kamala Khan's a good character. I think the person that she's like, because she took the Miss Marvel mantle. I'm like I tell you, nope. I don't know. I don't know who that is. Miss. So Ironheart, like what I'm gonna go say is that if we look at a lot of the people that have like a character that, like, Miles Morales, he's Peter Parker, he's Spider-Man. We got say Iron Man with the Riri Williams thing, and Ironheart. Like you have these notable characters. I'm not saying that she's not, but I'm telling you, people don't like Carol. I don't know. I don't like Carol Danvers. That's all I'm gonna say. I just don't like Carol Danvers. That woman, I don't know. She's not
in the sea.
She does not represent all women.
No, she does not. That is true. I just think what I'm trying to say is when you have like a role model, like a staple hero, I think more people are gonna read it because you got Peter Parker who's associated with Spider-Man. Now you have Miles. Like, we got Into the Spider-Verse, that's coming out in less than 2 weeks. So, and that's gonna do well, right? I think so.
Yeah.
And that matters because it's a Spider-Man related property. Nobody goes back and says, "Oh man, I remember that Ms. Marvel comic." I'm not talking about Kamala Khan. I'm talking about Carol Danvers. They're like, "Oh, that Ms. Marvel comic from 2000. That was really good." Wow. They're not doing that, so.
Mm-hmm.
That's clippable.
Yeah. I mean, I hope he has an original villain in the new Spider-Verse film, but I think the main thing though that some people are kind of polarized about with this comic releasing is they think it's a little weird to do so once she's like now finally getting at like the peak of her popularity, or like at least rising in popularity, at least in the film and TV world now with all this stuff coming out, and they can maybe like capitalize off of it with the comics. But I think it's just equally as dumb for many reasons, which I think we can all, just anybody who knows anything about comic books knows. And plus, I mean, the movie isn't coming out till a while, so they can still do so in time. So I just still don't get it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a non-story, bro. And the more attention it gets, the better, I guess, for the popularity of the character, and it's reaching different. It's exactly what they wanted and what they don't deserve, because deaths and killing characters shouldn't get this much attention at this point in comic
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's always done well, these comics, like The Death of Blank, right? They always kind of done well.
Oh, boy.
Jesus.
Well, I think when Miss Marvel 2 comes out, we'll see exactly how everything's going to play out, because they still may change their strategy after the film comes out. So let's see what happens, because this is the big play.
Jesus. Excuse me. My cat's got a fright.
Nice jump scare.
Actually, I thought about something.
I didn't realize Jesus rang the doorbell.
I just thought about something you just mentioned, Rosales. I know I was very critical of the first trailer. I have a feeling that the second trailer for the Marvels might be a little bit more serious, probably. So, maybe that might change, because maybe they're like, "Oh, hey, jokey, haha," and then like the next one's like a bit more serious. So maybe that might change my mind. And what I'm saying is that with the whole promotion thing, that could actually also help too, as well. So yeah, I had a point, but it failed. Okay, I'm shutting my camera off.
I think I think right now we're going to find out in the next 2 to 3 years exactly what's going to happen with streaming. Go back to.
I'm just going to listen into you guys, okay?
Okay, enjoy your package.
It's spilled Coke. That's what it is. Coca-Cola, not Coke.
But we're going to see Disney combine with Hulu into one streaming service, like Max is doing right now, and they are following hot on the trails of that. And so, as they change and they see that something will work out or doesn't work out, I believe that they are probably going to either reinvest super hard in Kamala Khan, or they will pack up their bags and send it on its way like they did Willow. So
I want to correct you. It's not reinvest in Kamala really hard, because that's never happened. There's never been an investment. There's always just been lucking out. They got a nobody creative writer to write her stories, and that's the most they've done for her. The next thing, they put her in a video game, but it was a group video games built on the Avengers. But that was something. I'll give them that. And then the TV show, there's a difference between Disney Plus and movie. Shang-Chi got a movie. Carol Danvers, she got a movie, Doctor Strange gets movies. She didn't. So I wouldn't say they're investing in her too hard.
Okay. That's fair enough. Miss 1776, any final thoughts?
Yes.
Anything I say, because want to I'm going to actually this time refrain from saying my opinion on this one. I know better for once.
Is it
nope,
me?
Ain't happening. Yes, it ain't happening. Not doing it.
You have the floor. Final thoughts.
I ain't doing nothing but mopping it. I ain't touching that one.
Take another shot and go ahead and spill the beans.
No way.
Well, then let me ask you this. Is video game violence getting too real
No.
I would say, yeah. Actually, watching those two, the two different, what was it, Mouse and oh shoot, I forgot the other one. Was it Uncensored or something? What was the other?
Yeah, it was something
Yeah,
like that. Let's
yeah.
take a look here. Here we got an example of some video game violence that's coming out. They're developing this game called Mouse, and as you can see here in the video, let me expand it.
Looks
Sure.
great.
You've got video game violence, like you would normally see in the games. You got some old-fashioned retro look, your rubber arm animations, just like the old 1920s kind of cartoons. You got bombs, you've got different varieties of weapons, and you got blood and guts and gore. But when you have that sort of thing going on, it's in a video game, it's funny. When it's in a cartoon, it's funny. But when it gets a little too real, then it becomes hard for people to watch. Now, this is a video game as well, the second video game we were talking about. And in this video game, you get the same sort of violence as the previous one we just showed. But in this scenario, you are a police officer going after some criminals. And this is body cam footage. Now, if you've ever seen body cam footage, you know that you always see the floor or the inside of the arms. So this is obviously not the real thing. But it looks real. It looks like there's bodies on the floor, like this cop is just going through and murdering these people in a vicious way with realistic blood splatters as opposed to the overarching excessive blood violence that you would normally see in video games where it splatters everywhere, gets on the camera, and that sort of thing. So since they have the same violence, is there a difference between the two games?
No.
Are they both acceptable?
No.
No, it just looks amazing and art.
I'd argue yes, there is a difference. Because someone actually, I was reading the comments too on them, and brought up a good point that it does, there is such a thing as desensitization to violence. I mean, and we see that even just with horror and watching gore. I mean, at first time you watch something, you're gonna be like, oh, that's gross. But as you watch it more and more, you kind of get used to it. It's not as, terrifying. It's not as scary. You got to keep upping the, kind of thing. And I would say this was really unsettling to watch. I watched it. I'm not saying you can't create it. I'm just saying it was very unsettling, and that's why it's really important for parents to make sure that they're watching what their kids are playing. That would just be my thing.
I mean, that's always going to be there, though, if anything.
Well, that's why I said it. It's up to the parents to make sure that they're watching what their kids are playing.
Yeah, but the problem is with this generation, with a lot of parents, they think the internet is just going to teach their kids.
Well, and that's why the parents need to watch what their kids are doing. It's on the parents not to let the internet teach their kids. They shouldn't be like letting their phone babysit their kids.
Because they expected YouTube to babysit their kids, and they didn't. And they also didn't realize that there's a YouTube Kids version. So because of that, they basically purged the site and damaged it so hard just to please them.
Even on the YouTube Kids version, I've heard that there's sometimes gross, creepy stuff pops up on it. So it's like, no, you need to sit there and watch the thing with your kids. Make sure that actually watch it beforehand to make sure, okay, this is, you should screen it, make sure, okay, my kid can watch this. It's weird or creepy or gross, or it's really on these parents.
This actually takes it back to this video here, because the reason why this happened is because for a certain period, they just allowed anything animated, thinking that it's automatically for kids. And honestly, this is the same with a lot of businesses and companies and mediums in real life. A lot of dumb people and higher ups and people voting at award shows, audience members, parents, they just think any animated film is automatically for kids. They just think it's a kids genre. It's really stupid. So yeah, that's how that happened.
My opinion is, okay, so I agree with Cole, and I kind of agree with 76, but here's the thing, though, that as we get older, technology is always getting better. So games are going to get to a point where it's just very, very realistic regardless. This is just, I wouldn't say, you could say it's a trendsetter, because it would be the first of its kind in a sense, the way it's looking like that. So that's one thing. And again, I've never blamed a video game for the violence that's in the world. It's always the person. It's always how they perceive it, how they were raised, how the parents raised their kids. So when it comes to things like that, it's a it trickles down, spreads its roots. I'm trying to think of a way of saying it, but I'm just coming up with bad things. What I'm saying is that this is always going to be around. This is just pushing the envelope. I mean, we've seen in horror, right, that the movies that don't have like the scary boogeyman but that are more like between two humans is the most uh, unsettling, but it's still classified as horror. It's a movie, right? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, what I'm going to agree with is I think it's stupid when, say, a parent brings like a kid to a Saw movie or Spiral. Like, what are you doing bringing a 10-year-old to Spiral? Or
come on, I saw those at 4. It's fine. Come on.
You're an idiot. And then why?
You turned out fine.
Thanks.
Why are you getting Resident Evil for your 11-year-old kid? Like that's like you should be parenting. So it goes hand in hand is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like Grand Theft Auto was like basically the big one, like that being this being super realistic. Well, first start with Grand Theft Auto. I would never tell someone you can't create that. I don't believe on infringing on people's rights because I don't like something. But again, what I'm saying is I don't think kids should be exposed to it. And by that, I mean, I don't think the parents should be watching their kids more to make sure that they're not exposed to these things at such a young age when, they are impressionable, and I'm not saying that it causes it, but I'm saying, it's like someone can have something wrong with them or bad in them or whatever. And I think, they watch something like this and it's not that this thing made them do that. It's just like almost like that. It feeds off it. And they would have found something else that was deviant or weird to, use for your thing. Like those girls who did the Slender Man thing. They would have found, if they didn't read about Slender Man, they would have found some other weird thing to kind of, do, because it was just that kind of, God, whatever was in them, So it's like, I'm not saying that these things cause that. I'm saying that there is a thing as desensitization in that, what's really important, you watch your kids. It's more my thing. I mean, adults, I don't care. Do what you're going to do.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I agree with you with that. I'm just saying that with like if we're seeing like I think they did Unreal Engine 12 recently. I'm not sure they demoed it like last year or at some point during the pandemic or like I think 2021. The graphics are just getting very, very real. Like at some point, it's like almost movie, like The Last of Us. I'm sure a lot of us have seen. I've seen the gameplay. If you were just to look at the cinematics only and combine it with some just YouTube content creators and Twitch streamers that do this, if you combine all the scenes, you get a full-fledged movie, like from a video game, and the graphics are getting much more real.
And it also makes up like 90% of the game, quote unquote. So it's always...
So I think I agree with 76. Parents need to have a better involvement because the kids have too much easy access nowadays. Because some parents like, oh, here's my card to go on Steam, and you're not even checking to see what their purchases at the end of the month. Like, oh, I thought you were getting Pokemon. Why is Fallout 3 on your list? Like what?
Yeah. Why is the Birth of a Nation on here? What? I do think it's mostly they should judge like their maturity level instead of their age, mainly for a lot of kids.
Well, a lot of kids can be very mature, but yet they're not grown, so they're like still immature. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like sometimes I have to remind myself that my nephew is 5. I'm asking too much of him and realize, hold on, he's just a 5-year-old. Because he's actually a very mature little 5-year-old. So I think you still have to kind of watch that. Even if someone is mature, it's like, okay, but they're still growing. You really have to think of it that way. Okay, this child is still growing. Their brain's still developing. is my child, should I expose my child to this at this point?
Mm.
And I would even say, even for the unrealistic stuff, I wouldn't play that mouse game either. I'm not saying that, oh yeah, let's just, burn all the games or anything. Me personally, I don't like anything that's gross or gory or blood or
I mean,
guts.
I would maybe
I don't know
start
why.
with start with like Assassin's Creed. That's a good starting point. And there's barely any blood, but hey, there's some killing. But hey, it's mostly a historical game.
Kitty, I am shocked you're not eating popcorn on stream.
Yeah, I'm eating McDonald's.
Oh my god, you need to just burn that. That's disgusting.
It's gone. I'll get rid of it. Don't worry.
Jesus.
He did it. It's his fault.
The thing about censoring games is that they will eventually get out, just like the media that has gotten out that Disney has tried to lock away in their vault that no one has seen except for the pirates. And so you can try to protect children all you want, but if somebody is interested in something, they will find a way to see it.
Well, then why restrict kids on anything? If kids interested enough, they'll go drink alcohol. If they're interested enough, they'll go do adult activities. It's like you're still the parent. It doesn't just because it's easy to get out there and find it. You're still the parent.
I'm not talking about the responsibility of the parents. I'm talking about the responsibility of the businesses.
No, I can't put to business that responsibility. I mean, they're just trying to make money here. It's not like they're actively going up to kids going, "Hey, you want to buy this game?"
Oh yeah, but you see, parents think that though, which is sad. They think that.
Well, that's because they're stupid parents, not watching their kids, and they want something to blame rather than themselves.
Yeah, and that's why YouTube shit now, because we're in this situation because of them.
He's more crude than gory, I would say.
And that's also why that Raka channel is pretty much dead, and they moved on to films. They have that Talk to Me film coming out because YouTube basically killed their channel with all the gore because of the parents complaining. Even though there's something called YouTube Kids, if you don't want to see that stuff.
Was that the one that did those crazy horror shorts that were like all really like?
Yeah, but like the special effects, they did. Yeah, they did a lot of stuff, and so they're moving on to films now. Yeah, they had that Talk to Me film coming out this year. It's pretty well received. It was at Venice for their first. So they're also rumored to do, I believe, a Street Fighter film. So
what I find interesting is that Unrecord was getting a lot of flack because they were considering it pro-police. Not so much the violence, but because it was pro-police officer. You are playing as a good guy going after bad guys, and some people were complaining about that.
But wait a minute, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because most of the games you don't play as most games throughout history. There's very few games where you don't play as the
baddie. You're not supposed to play as the baddie.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah, let's look at GTA mowing down the cops.
And this is why society as a whole isn't necessarily the best judge of what should or shouldn't be in front of a general audience. Now, Popeye cartoons were not this gory, and people always usually popped up afterwards when it comes to Mouse. So I really don't see a problem in that. If you've never seen anybody gunned down in real life, and your only experience is through video games, there's a difference between a real shot to the head or to the body. Real violence is a lot more disturbing, and the closer you get to that violence in a game, like was said before, the more desensitized you come to it.
Yeah, I mean, just wait for the 9/11 game.
No.
This
guy.
I don't know why. It sounds like a fun game. I mean, you try to escape, maybe throw the fire down the building or jump it off. Maybe you can find a
Too soon, man.
That's not like the Microsoft flying game.
Oh yeah. Sadly, though, they cut off the explosions.
Ah, yeah.
I used to play Flight Simulator.
It'll be interesting to see which one of these games get funded and which one actually comes out.
I think the mouse game will get funded because I remember there was a game that was being played. It was a black and white game. I think Cole might know. I forgot the name of it on Twitch, and it was really popular.
He knows a
Yeah,
lot
that,
about black and white.
yeah, exactly. It was.
Yeah,
What was it called?
masterpiece.
What was it called, Cole?
Oh, the one I just said, or another one?
The one you just said.
Oh, Cuphead. Yeah,
Yeah,
masterpiece.
Cuphead.
And then they made the show on Netflix.
Yeah, Cuphead was really good. So I would see that getting, because the people, the studio or whoever decides to fund it, they're gonna like, well, this is the, I guess, violent version of Cuphead, or might be the next Cuphead.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'll fund both, but
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's not either or, is it? Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, I mean, when it comes to like the police stuff, though, or I guess some people saying like some genres or premises might be distasteful, like people will do like,
I think the police
maybe, yeah, distasteful or disgusting things, yeah, with like the uncensored game, like, you know, like for fun or as like a dark joke or meme, like police brutality stuff. I mean, I'll say to that is like they'll do that with like any game with any premise. It doesn't matter, you know. If you try to just like block that stuff off, then they'll purposely then do it with like mods and stuff. They'll find another way, and you know, just to piss everyone off. Yeah.
Yeah. Modders.
Kind of reminds me when Hatred came out and everybody got pissed.
I don't remember Hatred.
Oh, you don't? You should look it up. Yeah, Hatred. That was quite a game. You literally just play as a guy who hates life and then just goes out and tries to kill as many people as possible, and it is quite brutal. Has own executions where they're like begging for their lives, and then he just
Jesus.
Yeah,
it does not sound pleasant to play.
Yeah,
yeah.
Just
something shouldn't be fun. Something shouldn't be fun. You know.
Yeah.
Nazi kids were a bad idea back then, so you know. Some things shouldn't be introduced to children and considered fun and exciting. But I find it really interesting that Guardians of the Galaxy is doing so well, especially since there was all these claims of superhero fatigue, and yet Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 seems to have beaten the hero fatigue. So what's really going on out there? What's
movie
the real
fatigue.
issue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about the superheroes. It's about, is it a good movie or not?
Eating that McFlurry is disturbing me right now.
Why are you such a snob about McDonald's?
Because it's literally dog poop. Like,
You know, when I do my face reveal, I'm going to make sure I have a Big Mac and a McFlurry, and I'm going to find one McDonald's that has a working shake machine.
Yeah, the big face reveal, 2025.
I mean,
folks, get
I like
ready for
Filet-O-Fish.
It must be canceled by then.
Well, okay. I agree. We've been saying this for past streams, right?
Rosales, you can move me away from where and just so that
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'll come on with like Shake Shack one day and be like, "Hey, Kitty."
I'll be like, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah, I know. But I think it's more bad story fatigue. We've gotten bad stories from bad writers that are made by bad producers. See this trickling effect? And Gunn has produced, say what you want, Guardians is not a staple name. It was out of the blue superhero group that they went with, and it just popped off because, you know, they had a furry raccoon, they got Groot the tree, you know, a green lady in Gamora, etc., etc. So, and the music. Like you said, music, I think music matters, right? So with the nostalgia of like bringing people back from like, you know, with the 80s and 90s songs, that played a factor. But I think, like I said, Gunn has a good way of storytelling. I've recommended this movie, and I was speaking to a guy from work, and his wife, he was telling me that two women were crying, and he's in Seattle. Two women were crying in the theater. And then they realized they were crying, and then they were sobbing. Then they were laughing at each other. Then they started back sobbing when they saw while they were watching Guardians. So clearly, the movie had an emotional effect on them.
Okay.
So when you have good storytelling and you have good writing, and you build up this trilogy, I think that plays a factor. So I think they need to just keep finding that talent out there to produce good stuff. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
gotten
also
away from the
just
tropes.
that. Yeah.
Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's
Go ahead,
the other
Tom.
thing. Sorry, no, you're gonna just say what I was gonna say as well. Just it's also the tropes and the format being the same every time, and they've done something a bit different with this now, so everybody's interested again. And also, even the ones that were releasing that were kind of good, like Shazam 2, I thought was good, but again, it was during the while they're like shaking up the universe again and trying to reset it, and it wasn't as well advertised, so yeah, nobody saw it. So that was also another reason. So I mean, besides Guardians 3, I mean, the last one that kind of did very well was probably the Batman.
Well, the James Gunn grew up at a time where they did two things with animals, as far as tropes are concerned. This is how they framed movies. One, you've got to save the cat.
Yeah.
Save the cat is basically the MacGuffin of the story. Whatever it is, that's the goal. That's the end line. You have to save the cat. That's the story. The cat could be any number of different things. The other thing is to make the bad guys evil, you have to kick the dog. And especially in kids' movies, right before the third act, you were kicking dogs left and right so that you got emotionally invested into what's going on. And John Wick took that to an extreme. So all of those movies are super popular because they weren't saving the cat. The bad guys were just kicking the dog. So now you have James Gunn introducing a kind of combo of the two, which is something that most of them had strayed away from. And this movie winds up being a really big hit by going back to the basic storyline of saving the cat and kicking the dog.
Yeah, or if you're like a film like Milo and Otis, you can do both.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and right now, Guardians is sitting at 659 million, and we're only in week 2 or week
3? I think.
Week 3.
I think.
All they have to overcome. Sorry, so.
No. That's all I had to say.
No, if Chill was still here, he'd have a chart up and let us know exactly what the numbers were. But he had something that came up. So,
all that you have to do with this fatigue or whatever is overcome the fact that people are like, it's probably going to be bad, and somebody has to go, and they go, and they say, oh shit, it was really great, and then everybody goes and sees it. That's how a good movie happens. Is after this kind of thing, because the fatigue is bad story fatigue. What happens if not enough people go and see a movie? This has happened. It's fine. It seems like Guardian's done that. Enough people went to spread the word and say no, it's fine. Because listen, we don't care about what the critics say. We literally we mostly talking amongst ourselves, and your friend goes and sees it, and then eventually it gets to the normies, and the normies, hi, we are the ones that buy the tickets, and you get told to go and watch, go and see the film, and that's how you overcome the bad story fatigue. But what happens if that didn't occur? You'd have a bad movie, but at least it didn't happen. I'm happy. Success stories are good. More success, good. Goodness gracious me, who let her in?
Also, I think that because Guardians had a following, that's also helping. Just because look at Thor, Love and Thunder. That movie should not have made the money it did. No offense, no nothing. But Thor has a following. Chris Hemsworth is like one of 4 of the original Avengers throughout.
Hot man, yeah.
Yeah, that are still alive. But I mean, so to me, if they can, I'm hoping with maybe I'll give the I'm really like, it's like a terrorist with a gun to my head. I'll go see it at this point for the Marvels. I'm hoping it's good, but I think Marvel needs to. People want to latch on to a new group as long as it's a good story, and I thought they were going to do that with Ant-Man, but I'm still baffled that movie didn't make that much. I'm not saying it's good. I thought it would have made way more because we got to see the villain, but I think, I think it is going to come down to writing and storytelling. Maybe this writer strike might give us new talent. We're like, okay.
That's literally what I'm hoping for.
I think the only thing it's going to give us is AI TV shows.
What did you say?
God, no.
He said the truth. That's what he said.
I smell Heaven's Bakery cooking up something good for you, sister.
That's actually good.
That was a new one. I added one this week. So hey Patrick, hey Nico, good to see you guys talking to each other in the chat.
Hey friend.
Well guys, I did not put together a game for us this week, so no lightning round for us at all. But does anybody have any final thoughts for the week?
Yes. Montana was the first state to ban TikTok.
Montana. Okay, wait.
I love democracy.
They banned TikTok?
Yes. Starting in 2024, there won't be. You won't. I think you won't be able to download it from Montana. I was like, thank you.
Yeah. How do you do that? But
I don't know how they're gonna restrict it, but they're banning TikTok.
They're trying.
Or try, but
well, I think probably the app services are going to comply and remove it from the market. I don't think there's a way of them stopping them from finding other ways to downloading it. It might void the warranties on your phone if you don't go through the proper channels. But any kind of ban only puts the banned product in front of people who are willing to do criminal activity to get it. So there you go.
Here we go.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, I hope Disney makes a remake of Old Yeller.
What's that? I don't know where.
You should watch it. It's a good family film. You'll like it.
What did he say?
I think he lying.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Love that boy. Love that boy.
Please.
Miss 76, you got any final thoughts?
Cowboys.
Yes.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Show us a cowboy. Rosales.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me see if I can find the cowboy.
So,
That's enough of that ballyhoo.
All right.
Sorry.
Taylor Sheridan is an American actor, screenwriter, and director. As a writer, he is best known for writing the screenplay for Sicario and Hell or High Water, for which he received an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Screenplay.
Oh, girls just wanna have fun.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
What? The chaos, the absolute chaos. That's I dig it. You don't.
That's crazy. I do not. It was taking too long to get to the cowboy, so.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's okay. I'll go and look him up. Jeez. Okay, Patrick.
Oh,
We don't have
snort.
we
Good
don't have
snort.
substances here.
Clip that snort. Clip the snort, Kitty. Clip that snort.
I didn't snort. Who
No,
snorted?
You have no proof who snorted because there are two people without their picture or without their people behind it. So there.
You'll get the little. Oh wait,
Yeah,
wait.
you got the little
Nico,
ring
Nico.
showed up on your
Nope,
snort.
nope. That was like me
Nico,
drumming on the keyboard. It's all good.
I can't clip these things while we're on
Don't worry.
computer.
The stream will be back up, and you'll find it. Don't worry. It's like 1 minute and 29 something. I mean, hour 29 and something.
Okay, I've pressed it. I'm gonna have to find it. He's just played the music to calm me down.
There we go. So, guys, it's a fun stream. I think we had a little bit of a rough start. Couldn't get the hiss down. The audio was breaking up on everybody. So if you're watching this on the replay, we know what happened. So it was good. It eventually wound up being an okay show. I'm glad everybody had a chance to watch us get down and dirty. We almost got 1776 to beef with somebody, but she refused to take the bait. Good on her. Awesome.
I'm gonna beef with you in a minute, Warren.
We're gonna beef. We still haven't had our beef.
Oh yeah, that's right. We still have to have our fight.
Yeah, we've just been
That's
busy.
history.
To schedule our
There we
fight.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nico,
But,
oh my god.
I think we did pretty good. Today. Cole, you got a final thought? Now that you've changed your picture?
Oh no, not really. Oh yeah, this is from the.
Yeah, I'm going
hatred
to cut you
game.
off. Can we please cut him off? Can we take him off the screen? Thank you.
Tyrant.
Well, it's from the beautiful hatred game. Great game.
Oh my god. This is so scary. I don't like
Love
the
that
idea.
one. Love that.
And I'll just look up like the first 10 minutes of it and then stop there.
We've got to head out, folks. Cole's got to get back to his screening of Birth of a Nation. So we've got to move on here. But
I'm gonna
thanks for
play some Monster Hunter, guys. If you want to come.
You're gonna play some Monster Hunter? That's awesome.
Yeah. So
And
that's what
Warren,
we're doing now.
Oh,
what do you got planned for the week?
I'm supposed to go to Georgia, but I'm not sure. That might get last minute change, so I don't know right now. But I'm supposed to be going somewhere before the end of this month, a different state. So.
Well, I hear they grow peaches in Georgia.
So I've been told.
Maybe you'll have some pie.
No comment.
What was
Smart man.
Which kind of pie?
Absolutely no reference in that. I just think pie is delicious.
Oh, because the pies they had last
week. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but there's a specific pie, and I'm not going to say that one.
Well, pumpkin pie is the best, but I mean, I know what pie you're talking about, Warren.
No, thank you. Not that one. I'm good.
Well, guys, I'm glad you were able to watch with us. Sorry we couldn't go any further on this, but let me leave you with this while we round out our show.
I got bitches in the living room getting it on, and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So what you gonna do? Shit, I got a pocket full of rubbers in my